If you're here, you're most likely trying to figure out how to deal with anxiety. I know watching a long drawn-out intro is not going to help with that or your stress. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Bow. Hey everyone, I'm Will and welcome to Willfully Positive, where we are willing to do the work in order to live a positive life. So we know what it is and we know what it feels like, and we can all agree that it sucks. But there are things that we can do to alleviate anxiety. Now I'm going to share my tips with you today. And if you deal with extreme debilitating anxiety, I highly suggest you seek a licensed professional for more assistance. And before we get started, be sure to hit subscribe so you can catch all my future videos. Now, let's jump in. When it comes to keeping my mind in check, mantras are huge for me. They are memorized sayings that help me get back on track whenever anxiety shows up. And the first mantra I'm going to share with you guys today is, thoughts are thoughts. It sounds simple, but there's more to it. I'm not saying that thoughts aren't valuable, powerful, or important. But when you deal with anxiety, your negative thoughts are overpowered to the point that they feel real, that they feel true, that they feel factual. And when my anxiety is high, I remind myself that thoughts are thoughts. Nothing more, nothing less. Do I have enough evidence? This goes hand in hand with thoughts are thoughts. At the end of the day, we can't stop ourselves from thinking. That's not how the stream of consciousness works. But we can keep our thoughts in check by grounding ourselves. When anxiety arises, it's based in fear and assumptions. But we have to ask ourselves if we truly have enough evidence to warrant an anxious response. Ooh, this next one is good. Energy and emotions are contagious. When we feel anxious, it's very easy to take it out on other people. Sometimes we take it out on the very person that we want to hear us out in the moment. But remember that emotions and energy is contagious. You get back what you put out. So if you crave a calm response from someone, you can't get that back by approaching them with aggression and fear. They may very likely respond in a tone that you did not want in the first place. The last mantra seems very simple, but we all seem to forget this sometimes. It is to breathe. Understand that anxiety doesn't just exist in our minds, it exists in our bodies. If you are having an anxious moment, remind yourself to breathe. For me, anxiety can turn into a cycle. My mind is anxious, then my body's anxious, and then my mind is anxious because my body's anxious, and my body's anxious because my mind is anxious, and then I'm just a whole ball of anxiety. And some of you might say that breathing doesn't work, but I'll also say that some of you don't do it for long enough. Okay, fine, I'm gonna breathe. See, it didn't do anything, I'm still anxious. Deep, slow breathing for at least 20 to 30 minutes increases your oxygen supply and stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system, which helps to calm you down. And if you need to practice deep breathing longer, don't be afraid to keep at it. Now, I've also created an anxiety conflict plan, which helps me to process my emotions and my anxiety in a healthy, productive way. Let's get into it. The first step, release. You just had an anxious moment, you just had a fight with someone, and you have all this emotion balled up inside of you. Whether it's anger, sadness, like whatever it is, you have all this energy. Now, you don't know what to do with it. You have to release it. Now, there are different ways that you can do this. You know, you can always write in a journal. And sometimes I like writing in my journal, but other times, like, my mind is just going so fast that I just want to talk it out. So I'll get my phone and I will just hit record and just talk into my phone, recording all of my thoughts. And what's great about the writing or recording method is that you can always go back to that moment and kind of think of it as you being an outside perspective and listening to the story and truly trying to figure out a logical response. And yes, you can also vent to your friends, but I will also remind everyone to ask for permission before you start venting your emotions. Understand that everyone isn't always ready to hear us out, even when we are feeling like crap. So always ask for permission before you start to vent to someone, because we don't want it to be a dumping situation. Now, the next step is to relax. And I feel like the best way to do that is through meditation. Yes, it involves deep breathing, but it also helps you to clear your mind and calm your mind down. And then therefore it will calm your body down. And I feel like there are so many mediums through which you can find meditations. So if you do want to get into meditation, I highly suggest that you either download an app, you can go on YouTube and look up guided meditations there, or even check out this new series on Netflix by Headspace. They have guided meditations in this series, and they have some awesome visuals too, so I think you really enjoy that. Step 3 is to reflect. Now that we have released our immediate emotions, now that we are in a calm space, it is time to reflect how we feel. And I think one of the best things that you can utilize is an emotion wheel. I actually have a link to one down in the description below. Being able to name your feelings is the first step to being able to process them. And yes, reflection can take hours, it can take days, it can take weeks, it can even take longer. But definitely take the time that you need in order to truly pinpoint your feelings so that you have a better perspective when you start to talk to someone about what happened. And the last step is relay. Now that you have processed your emotions and you're in a calm space, you may very well be ready to express your feelings and your emotions to whoever you need to. Keep in mind, this isn't a one-size-fits-all plan. You can repeat certain steps and reorder them as you see fit. Just do what's best for you. And those are my tips for dealing with anxiety. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments below what methods you use to handle your anxiety. Do you use any of the methods that I talked about, or do you try something new? I definitely want to know, because it will help me and I'm sure it will help somebody else too. Lastly, if you found this video to be helpful, be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button so you can catch all the videos from here on out. Until next time, peace, love, and willful positivity. Bye.